Hello and welcome to this edition of the Weekly Dose, Challenge Your Perspective. This is Patrick Dyer in Washington, D.C. The Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission, the IEBC, as is currently constituted, cannot be entrusted to hold the next general election in 2017. And these are the reasons why. We know about the chicken scandal, that the top officials of the company that won the tender to provide equipment and ballot papers have all been prosecuted and jailed for corruption charges, the chicken scandal. And yet, in our country, that has not happened. Two, we know that the majority of the commissioners then that were involved in the Bungled 2013 election are still there, except for the CEO, Mr. James Oswago, and one of the commissioners, Mr. Thomas Letangole. The rest are still in place. Those that were involved in the strategic planning, in the process, in knowing that the election should have been held properly, are still in place. How can we entrust them? We know that the computers that were supposed to be used for electronic voting all failed in the very first 1 hour. They had to resort to paper ballots, which in itself did not go well either. Four, we know that these people went throughout the countries of the world promising the people in the diaspora that they would vote. That never came to pass. We must question how these people work. What is their strategy? What was their strategy then, and what's the strategy now? They're the same people that were involved in this Bungled election. And we as Kenyans, we must ask for very high levels of integrity. We must ask for credibility in every election cycle. We cannot go through every time there's an election, a national election, the general election, the country comes to a standstill. We know what happened in 2007. A president sworn in darkness. And there was blood all over. In 2013, the country waited anxiously as the Supreme Court decided who our next president was going to be. We cannot go through this all the time. This body, the commissioners, must be above board. And if the body itself and its members have been discredited, their credibility is in the dumps. How can we expect that whatever results that come next would be trusted with these very same people running the IEBC? This body needs and must be reconstituted. Our country is young. Our democracy is still crawling. We still have so many holes to plug. But the body that is charged with this high task must be seen to be above board. And whether these people knew about the corruption or not, they were members of a team that made decisions, that put in strategy, that was supposed to be efficient, that was supposed to hold an election that was seen to be free and fair. And they did not. We cannot, the country cannot entrust them to do this again. And personally, I don't care who becomes the president, from whatever party, from whatever tribe. But I think most of the country will agree that whoever becomes the president must have a clear mandate through an election that is not disputed, either through the Supreme Court or being sworn in darkness, so that the person has mandate of Kenyans. And in my opinion, that is what will start healing this country from every election cycle, Kenyans put against each other, coming to violence, or biting their nails waiting for who their president is going to be. This body, the IEBC, must be reconstituted, and that time is now. That is my perspective. What's yours?